Counterfeit coins have been around since ancient times. And as well as the minting process evolved, so did the methods used by the counterfeiters. In this guide we will look at various tests that you can try at home to identify fake coins, and make sure that only authentic coins reach your collection. The first test that we will look at is the visual identification of counterfeits, which is a fast and easy way to spot a fake coin, if you know what to look for. To identify a counterfeit coin with this method, you need to be quite familiar with each type of coin, or at least have another coin of the exact same type to compare with, which you know for sure is authentic. Alternatively, you can find the pictures of most types of coins on the internet, though these might not be good enough to compare the fine details. The first thing we are going to look is the alignment of the coin. Some counterfeits don't have both sides aligned properly, and therefore, this is an easy way to spot a fake. Next, we will look at the edge of the coin, making sure it doesn't show any irregularities, like the union line between the two sides of a cast, or filing marks along the edge or rim, to mask this union line. Other counterfeits show a sandwich made by two faces glued or welded together, or to a third middle piece. And other coins show a displacement or different legends on the edge. We will also inspect the surface of the coin, as some falsification methods leave a distinctive texture, like the bubbly surface characteristic of cast coins, or platted counterfeits that reveal a second material beneath the surface on the worn parts, or coins with a slippery or dull surface. You also need to have a close look at the details and compare them with those of another coin of the same type that you know it's authentic. You can compare the details using a jeweler's lens or a loupe, or you can take two digital pictures and then compare them with any photographic software, for which you need to turn and scale the pictures until they fit perfectly, and then check for any differences. During the inspection of the details, you also need to make sure they show a good quality and depth, accounting for wear and weak strikes. And you also need to make sure that the date and mint mark were not altered, as many counterfeiters tamper with these to make common coins pass for rare or scarce issues. Counterfeit gold and silver coins are often made with cheaper metals, and for this reason, even if the coin looks authentic, we can identify a fake simply by weighting it. Different metals have different densities, and therefore two exact coins made of two different metals would have a different weight. For this test you will need a precision scale with an accuracy of at least 1/10 of a gram, and preferably accurate to 1/100th of a gram. Turn on the scale, and if needed, wait 30 seconds until the scale adjusts. Then make sure it's stable, and set to 0, pressing the tare button if necessary. Put the coin gently on the scale, and wait until the measurement is stable. Then take note of the reading. Compare this reading with the corresponding for this coin on a numismatic catalog. If your coin weighs more than what's stated on the catalog, plus 1%, which is the usual margin for the scale and minting accuracy, then the coin is probably a counterfeit. If your coin weighs less than it should, taking into account the level of wear, which could be up to 5% for coins in a good grade, then the coin is probably also a counterfeit. Some counterfeits get the weight right, even when they do not contain any gold or silver. To achieve this, counterfeiters sacrifice on the volume of the coin, making the diameter, or more often, its thickness, different than it should. To measure the diameter and the thickness of a coin, you will need a caliper. Simply hold the coin by the edge with one hand, while with the other you adjust the caliper around it, making sure that you take a couple of measurements more around the coin. Take note of the readings, and compare them again with the corresponding for this coin on a numismatic catalog. If the diameter or the thickness is smaller or greater than the stated on the catalog, taking into account that worn coins should measure a little bit less, then your coin is probably a fake. This test was quite popular years ago, though nowadays, counterfeiters usually don't fall anymore in the mistake of using magnetic materials. For this test, simply pass a magnet over your coin, and if the coin is attracted by the magnet, when it shouldn't contain any magnetic element, then the coin is surely a counterfeit. There's another test that you can perform to coins that have the right weight and measurements, and the only thing you will need for this test is a good ear. Put the coin on the tip of your finger, and gently hit it with another coin, making it resonate. Compare the sound with that of another coin of the exact same type, and similar wear, that you are sure of its authenticity. If the ring is different, then the coin is probably a fake. The specific gravity and the density tests are quite difficult, and often messy to perform, as you will need to submerge your coin in water while you weight the results with a precision scale. The density is the mass of an object per its volume, while the specific gravity is the ratio of density between two substances. Therefore, if we know the density or the specific gravity for gold and silver, which are 1930 and 1050 respectively, we can find if a coin is made of those materials. To perform the density test, you basically need to divide the weight of the coin by the weight of the water it displaces, and then check that the result matches the density for that metal. And to perform the specific gravity test, you need to divide the weight of the coin when dry by the weight of the coin when in water, and again check that the result matches the specific gravity for that metal. Fake gold coins and platted gold coins are pretty easy to spot with this method, as gold has the highest density and specific gravity with 19.30 grams per cubic millimeter, followed by lead with 11.34. Therefore, if your result is way lower than 19.30, then the coin is not gold. Silver is a bit trickier, since its density and specific gravity are third on the list, with 10.5, just below lead, and above copper with 8.96. Therefore, lead could be used in the right proportion in a counterfeit to obtain the right density and specific gravity. Also remember to account for coins that are not of a high purity, like 80% gold coins or sterling silver coins. The density and the specific gravity on these coins should be proportionally lower. We don't recommend performing this test on any valuable coins, nor on any coins that you expect to return to your collection, as whether or not the coin turns to be authentic, it will be burnt by the acid. We also recommend performing this test with extreme caution, and always using gloves and safety glasses to protect your hands and eyes. If after all, you still wish to perform this test, then place the coin on a table, and apply a drop of the appropriate acid, depending on whether the coin is gold or silver, and preferably using the right solution to the specific purity of the coin. Wait for 30 seconds, and if the acid reacts as expected by changing its color, then the coin is composed of the right metal. At least the surface of the coin. Most platted counterfeits will pass this test, since you would be applying the acid on the platted surface. The only way to know if a coin is solid gold or silver using this test, would be to cut through the coin with a file, and then applying the acid at enough depth, which would also completely ruin the coin. And with this test, we conclude our guide to identifying fake coins. We hope you like it, and that you found it useful.